Vietnam is facing the serious impacts of climate change, particularly sea level rise, which is causing flooding and subsidence in coastal areas, especially in the Mekong Delta. Major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are also struggling to cope with extreme weather events. This requires the development of detailed climate scenarios to prepare and implement effective response measures. In this context, the International Workshop on Building Climate Change Scenarios was organized to provide the scientific basis and solutions to these challenges, creating an opportunity for experts to share researches and new technologies and propose appropriate responding strategies for Vietnam and the region.
Director of Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology and Climate Change. Based on actual data from the last 60 years, we can clearly see the trend of rising temperatures across the country, with the increase being higher than the global average, especially in the last decade. Additionally, we are facing extreme events like heavy rainfall and storms, particularly powerful ones affecting Vietnam. Therefore, the upcoming climate change scenarios we are preparing, which may be released in 2025, will focus on future extremes extending to the end of the century. This data is crucial for preparing climate adaptation plans and for developing long-term planning scenarios. These scenarios will be based on the latest IPCC reports on emission pathways, low, moderate, and high, as well as scenarios based on global temperature increases of 1.5 degrees Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius, or 4 degrees Celsius.
The climate scenarios mentioned by Dr. Nga are based on the latest reports from the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, with emission pathways classified into low, medium, and high levels. These scenarios reflect varying degrees of global temperature increase depending on different greenhouse gas emission paths. According to IPCC reports, climate scenarios predict global temperature rises ranging from 1.5 degrees to 4 degrees by the end of the century.
Director of the Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology and Climate Change. Today's workshop is entirely scientific and technical, to discuss in detail and address the challenges we face in constructing these scenarios. Only after achieving consensus on scientific issues can we release the first draft of the scenarios. We will then gather input from ministries, localities, and stakeholders to assess their relevance and usage requirements and continue to adjust accordingly.
Vietnam has applied advanced technologies such as satellites, sensor systems, and artificial intelligence to monitor and provide early warning for natural disasters and environmental pollution. Early warning systems for earthquakes, tsunamis, and weather forecasting enable timely responses. The Internet of Things technology helps monitor air, water, soil quality, providing accurate data to protect public health. Additionally, mobile applications and SMS-based warning systems keep the public informed promptly. Deputy Director of the Agricultural Meteorology Research Center. Currently, technology is well developed. For example, during Typhoon Yagi, we used remote sensing technology to measure and assess damage in areas like river mouths and distant river areas that are hard to access. Remote sensing, or drone technology, can help identify damage. Another method we use is developing indicators to measure damage. These indicators help quantify losses and damages that cannot be observed normally. Currently, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, along with other agencies, is developing sets of indicators to monitor climate change damage. The UK Met Office is a specialized agency providing weather forecasts, climate warnings, and research related to climate change. Established in 1854, it plays a key role in global meteorological surveillance and analysis, providing accurate and timely weather data for governments, businesses, and communities. In addition to short-term weather forecasts, the agency conducts long-term climate research, contributing to policies aimed at mitigating climate change. With advanced technology and leading experts, the UK Met Office has become one of the most reputable meteorological organizations worldwide.
So we tailor this information to make it usable by government by industry and by the general public. We have a website called the UK Climate Projections, where we share all this information and make it accessible to everybody. And then we work with many, many different stakeholders to try and understand how that information can be made relevant to different sectors, different users.
The UK Met Office is supporting Vietnam in enhancing its climate and weather forecasting capabilities through high-resolution climate models, helping improve the monitoring of extreme events and disaster risk assessment. The agency also organizes training sessions and workshops, assisting Vietnamese scientists in accessing advanced technologies. This cooperation not only strengthens Vietnam's ability to cope with climate change, but also opens up opportunities to adopt international standards in climate forecasting and monitoring.